Good day, good people. It's another fine day in the year of the Paradigm. In fact, it's one of the final fine days in the year of Paradigm. In fact, it is the last fine Sunday in the year of the Paradigm. In fact, it's the last fine AWE Rebellion in the year of the Paradigm. And we got a whole lot to talk about at the head of this show because it is the last show for the AWE. It is our year-end show, which means it's Survivor Series type. We're having all the champions go against the champions. We got the OC Tag Team champions going against each other. We got all of the big champions in Fatal 4-Way and Fatal 5-Way matches tonight, and it should be fantastic. But before we get to all of those matches, we got a lot to talk about. A lot is unfolding here in the AWE because it's year-end time, and it's time to talk about it. First and foremost, as I said, we got the OC Tag Team Champions, we got the OC Champions all in the building tonight and all competing in their matches, but most notably, if you potentially want to see your OC hold on to those championships around their shoulders, around their waist, holding them up in the sky and defending them as well, be sure to enter, officially open now, for OC Revolution January. It is live, it's in the description, it might be pinned in the live chat maybe, but it is ready to go out. We got a lot more to talk about, to be honest, which is crazy. While you also have your OC submissions open, there's other things to vote on as well, because it is year-end time. Year-end awards are here. I suggest for some reason, unless like one of these matches tonight like really strikes your fancy, it was like somehow, some way they put on a match of the year contender in the last show of the year. That's why I kind of like to make sure that we have the year-end awards open right here, right now. Go and get your votes in on those, and in that poll, at the end of that poll, there's a second page before you submit, and it will have you vote on the what are we running back for AWE's 3rd anniversary of Inferno, which is insane to say, but here we are, aren't we? Man, that's crazy, isn't it? Anywho, get ready for that. Those are all in here, and I think it's also worth noting as we continue going through all the news here. Next month we're getting audited by the RRC, and maybe I'll talk a little bit more about that when Shingo Limingo is live in action. We'll have your OC Tag Team Champions rather. Our audit date, I believe, is January 30th, that Friday. And I think that's the Friday before OC Revolution as well, so make it known. Hope we pass that on. Hopefully we do. And I think there's a lot more under the surface that we need to worry about. Because let's talk about the fight before Christmas. Somebody, and when you look at it from afar, you kind of realize what is going on here. You know what I mean? Someone put up some sort of invisible walls, and we're still not entirely sure what those were. If they were invisible walls, like straight invisible walls, or like psychic walls that we couldn't see, or ghostly walls, I'm unsure. Because when I was with Kuzu trying to get those out of here, I kind of think that we got rid of them physically. But it also could have just not been us to get rid of them. They just went away on their own, which feels like a sabotage play. You know what I mean? What becomes more clear is at the during the Women's Rumble on night 2, a clear sabotage play of camera feed cuts and lights going out, forcing us to restart that Rumble match over and over again. And we'll get to those competitors who are there, and we have a little bit more to talk about when it comes to the fight before Christmas. One more thing, we were sabotaged at the fight before Christmas, and the worrying concern is I don't know who it was, because it wasn't the Indian Clover, and it was not a Mon, so I'm not sure what happened or who is responsible for that, but they tried to completely dismantle and throw into disarray one of the most joyous times of the year here in the AWE, and I will not stand for that. I'm hiring detectives as we speak to figure out who sabotaged the fight before Christmas. And speaking of the fight before Christmas, one last thing. Your prediction scores are now open. If I remember correctly, I believe there is another tie for first place, and I think they were XSP and Kuzu. I believe. That sounds right. You can check your scores in the description. It was also very close. It always is very close for like the top 5. Go and check what you got. They're in the description below. I hope. Probably so. Anywho, that is everything, I think. We did that. We did that. We talked about the audit. We talked about everything. And I think, you know, just for Inferno that's coming up, the tag team titles will be on the line. Both sets of tag team titles, the Frenemies and the Disciples will go on, but none of them will be standard tag team matches. We got a big old ladder match going on, and it's going to be a fantastic time. And there will be a tag team Hell in a Cell match for those two things, for those two teams rather. Team Wa will be inside of that cell. The Disciples will defend in that ladder match. And tonight, I don't have much more to say because we got a show to get on the road, don't we? Should we start it? I believe we should. Let's do just that. It is Fatal 4-Way Rules. It is elimination. It is time to find out who is the best of the best when it comes to the champions at the end of the year in the AWE. Let's talk about everybody's years as they come out. And as the stars, not quite, as the stars now go, black. Let's talk about it. Out first, and new AWE champion. It is a man who's come a long, 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 long way. And I want to talk about Gin, specifically because this is a real homecoming moment for Gin. Gin is a man who's gone face to face with most of the terrifying entities that have found their way into the AWE and is still kicking, is still breathing, and now he's on top of the division. I'm talking about being converged by Void. I'm talking about facing off against Sonic.exe. I'm talking, had his arm torn apart by Dottore, I think. Who else? Who else? Amon, clearly, at the tail, or I guess earlier in the Amon thing, Amon whooped this man senseless. And then Gin came out on top and took that title from Amon. He took the titles from Sonic.exe. I'm just saying, Gin has been through so much here in the AWE, and he is a true emblem of what it means to be perseverant here tonight. But we would talk about perseverance and someone else who made Amon look like a fool. I heard you just wanted to know. It is your AWE All-Star Champion, just defended the title successfully against Tartaros at the fight before Christmas. Golden is here. Golden is the man responsible for making sure Amon's title reign didn't even last 3 minutes. When it came to the All-Star Championship, Golden is a man who cashed in and made everyone say his name and respect him. Because he didn't just do it to win the championship, he did it to save the AWE. And no matter how you feel about him, you gotta imagine. Not imagine, rather, you have to thank him. And I would be the last one to say that if you asked me a couple months ago. But thank you to Golden, and thank you to your AWE All-Star Champion. Golden tonight wants to continue to prove why he is the creme de la creme, why he is, or wants to be, the top of the division. Born and raised, homegrown talent from the OC division, now on top here in the main roster scenario. Golden, welcome to the year-end battle. Hey, you love to see it. Golden has really come a long, long way. And you could vote him again as your OC of the year, as a previous winner of the OC of the year, I guess title, or year-end award, but I digress. Also coming out as a man who has turned his entire career around with the help of Deity Miku. Deity Miku, who trained this man like a beast apparently this year. Because the Mitarai that we saw, or I guess that we've seen rather, since shortly before Brawloween, earned a shot shortly before Brawloween and then continued onward and forward. This is a Mitarai who is not just a great wrestler, but a great tactician. He is a smart man. He had that on full display at his match at the Fight Before Christmas. Always found himself in the right place at the right time, and if he was not at the right place at the right time, he made the wrong place the right place, and he made the wrong time, he set his clock backwards, and he made it his time, and he is still your Fight Forever champion. I believe now Mitarai has the longest reigning reign for the men's title and the most successful title defenses because of the Fight Before Christmas. Congratulations to young Mitarai. He's come a long way. But this year was proved to be his year. Welcome to the year in battle, young Mitarai of the disciples of Miku. And last, but certainly not least, we talked about an OC champion, former OC champion in Golden. We have to talk about a very dominant new name in the OC division. A man who is a true breakout star. DJ is here. DJ, who won the championship after earning a spot in a gauntlet match at the last OC Revolution, came through and won the championship in a big fatal 4-way match against Applejuice, Adam, and Jay, I believe. And I'm pretty sure that's right. That was back when I was in a neck brace. Anywho, I'm like 99% sure. But as we see him slide in here, DJ also was the first ever OC to defend that OC championship at the Fight Before Christmas, and did so in a dominant fashion. JFJ chose the rules, chose the stipulations, and he chose to fall to DJ that night. DJ looks to continue to make a name for himself here in the AW and looks to continue to prove why he is on the same level as someone like Golden. We got an interesting 4 here tonight. 4 people who I don't know if I would ever consider Golden or DJ to be underdogs, but Mitarai and Gin very much underdogs in the past, and now we're seeing Sammy calling this matchup tonight. Oh my gosh, look at the twin springboard moves, and now it's Golden versus Mitarai. Punch right to the gut, and all done wheelbarrow into a pinfall. They're not going to be breaking things up. Rolled back over into a pin again, one, and just kicked out. Again, getting tossed by DJ, and DJ now, raining down the pain over on Mitarai. DJ, if you're not familiar with his work, with his repertoire, let me tell you what he's got. In his moveset, that downtown DDT will knock you out cold. You see how far Mitarai swung his hand back to catch both the chest of Golden and of DJ with that chop. But now look at this, Golden turns himself around. Ooh, Bulldog! By Gin off the springboard. And look at this, oh no! Mitarai down, trash can still in the ring as DJ's rolling out. Wise decision as everyone's starting to work up their signature bars. AWE champion. Oh, wait, hold on a minute. Mitarai stopped that from going down. I think they are thinking that, I was going to say, are they thinking that Golden's a big threat here? I will say, you're in a match with Golden, you got to make sure that you know what you're doing. You got to be ahead of your game. He is one of the best here in the AWE in terms of pure in-ring tenacity. Toss down and a DDT. And Mitarai tossing, getting a trash can. That's legitimate bullying. Shots right behind the ear on the DJ. DJ getting caught by Mitarai, again right behind. Looks like those two may have worked together just for a brief second. And I want to point out, Point out the similarities between Mitarai. Oh no, Gin rolled out of the way. Smart. Learned that from Uncle Iroh, and as I was gonna say, both of these gentlemen, Mitarai and Gin, were both trained by another person, trained by a former all-star champion, Mitarai by Miku, and Gin by Uncle Iroh. We might have to see Uncle Iroh and Miku go one-on-one low blow again, you fiend! Mitarai, you fiend! But anything goes in a fatal four-way match, elimination style. Oh my gosh. He was about to make himself right place, right time again. But Golden from behind. Mitarai, I think he stepped just a step out of the way. Golden went tumbling and Mitarai off the ropes himself for 1, for 2, and it's a kick out. The matchup is already starting hot. Sammy's going all over the place to try and count these pins. Super kick right to Golden's face. Oh, went for a big punch, but Mitarai's the only one standing. Yanking that leg. And then twitching it backwards too. Gin does still have a signature built up. So does Mitarai. Looked like Gin might have thought about using it. DJ is going down onto the knee of Mitarai. Golden stood up right there, but Mitarai catches a face full of hockey stick. Gin introduces a table into the mix. Mitarai with a reversal on a Golden. And we've seen this before. Tilter, not even a tilter roll, just all over the place with that butterfly powerbomb. DJ going for a signature there. Gin with a reversal. Gin's got, I was going to say Gin's got a signature and a finisher, but he does not. Hold on a minute. Reversal right back. Gin in control of this fight. And he may be sending Mitarai on a little bit of a trip. No, reverse the sunset flip and punches Gin right in the head. Mitarai, okay, hold on. We really do have to talk about whatever training that Mitarai's been going through, because that stuff is working, dude. No shot, snake eyes, right into that middle turnbuckle. And oh no, my gosh, DJ fell over right onto those steel stairs. You fall on those things wrong, you can hurt your spine, not for nothing. Especially if you don't know that you're there and you're not ready to brace for that impact. That's hard impact, just like a steel trash can to the face. DJ rolls out of the way. Mitarai sends him into the rope. He might be thinking, pushes him back, and a kick right to the chest. Right now, DJ is not having a good time. He's already won a fatal four-way match to win his championship. Is he gonna be able to win this one as well? Not if Mitarai has anything to say about it. Is DJ about to go through the table? Up in the skies, but Mitarai not able to get it. DJ with a reversal and shot to the back of the leg. Not the back of the neck. Into the ropes. DJ may be thinking shot to the gut. Almost a haymaker right to the stomach of Mitarai. Gin trying to hit an arm bar. Golden, woo! Sends Gin flying, and now everybody's spilling to the outside of the ring. Mitarai not keen on getting it immediately, wants to do a little bit more damage, gets the other set of steel steps. Jumps over DJ, steps back in, but Mitarai, I think that was his plan all along. We talk about him being a tactician, and we're seeing it in full force tonight. Into the pinfall one. No. Was that just 1-1, like one for real? And now we're seeing Gin, hold on, Gin wailing away on Mitarai. It might actually be, clothesline to Golden. I was going to say it might be Gin who's using his in-ring IQ to get the best of Mitarai. He's going to have to walk around. That table is set up again. Doesn't want to ruin all of his hard work setting up that table. And on the outside, it's OC versus OC. Both step outside and nobody's in the ring now. Oh, no! Traffic cone right to the face and chest of Golden. And to the back of head, and oh my gosh! The accuracy, it almost like landed on his head. Like a hat, like a party hat. Oh no. DJ's thinking vile things right now. And Mitarai's back is thinking maybe we should retire! Oh my gosh! And almost on the trash can, that could have impaled, it could have like taken his eye out with that. Goodness gracious, Bulldog to Golden, now it's Gin. DJ, the only two standing, Mitarai over with a reversal. Trying to send Gin over towards the ropes, unable to do so. Everyone battling on the outside here. DJ tossed into the ring. Gin very quickly goes to follow, saying, I need to be in the ring to get a pinfall to win this matchup. But he may have fallen right into DJ's. Oh my gosh, over the trash can! Gin's skull! He's still out! DJ, no! Oh man, with that neck breaker. That neck breaker, I think, got on one of the pinfalls that he got on JFJ in that matchup. Oh, but I think he just reversed the signature. Cat's Claw lands! DJ has no resiliency. You don't think? 1, 2. He's able to kick out. As I said, DJ is tough. Tough as nails. Like he had, but he might not be tough enough to survive a fireball powerbomb right afterwards. 1, 2. Gin has... He kicked out without resiliency again? I was gonna say, Gin's got 2 more finishers lined up. DJ's desperate at this point for a... Oh, man. Desperate for a reversal. Mitarai trying to get into the action here as well. And there's that cat's claw. I'm sorry, that cat's cradle. And Mitarai neckbreaker from the heavens to the outside. And did you see how Golden was holding his neck after that? The pain coursing through his body, as I'll be real, it might be DJ who's feeling more pain than anybody in this matchup. He's taking finisher after finisher from Gin, and one more might be enough to put DJ away. Stood up one last time and went for a single leg drop kick, put his whole body into it, and Gin's now celebrating, calling for DJ to get up. DJ's burned resiliency, and he goes flying. And now it's Mitarai who's getting sent into the ring. Golden goes to follow. Gin right afterwards as well. Oh, but I think Gin, was thinking about that cat's cradle, I think, on Golden, and I think he might be going for it. No? No, oh my gosh, neck first onto the table. I want to point out, Golden just took a nasty fall with that neck outside the ring, but it's still not enough to burn resiliency. Still not enough. We look at the bars of vitality all across the bottom. Gin's got the most of it, but a reversal there. Golden, sends him down. Everybody back in the ring, but the only one standing. Oh my gosh, he took out everybody. He took out Sammy and DJ with that table as well. Animation roll, but nobody's there to count the pinfall. Sammy got took out from the table. Maybe a misplay from the tactician as Golden takes a steel chair to the head. This has become the darndest match I've seen in a long time. Turn backwards, and again the cat's cradle, but once again nobody's gonna be there. Mitarai broke it up to get, oh my gosh! That butterfly bomb, and don't tell me power bomb! They're taking out both of the OCs! Oh, but that might have been a misfire. And Gin may be paying for it with that animation kick right to the jaw. And that's 1. That's 2. Not resiliency though. And a big old boot right to Mitarai. DJ heading back to the corner. I think he was thinking about that neck breaker again and said, lifts Mitarai up. Is he going to potentially go for that downtown DDT? Mitarai has no resiliency. 1, 2. DJ's beside himself. I'm beside myself. The audience all but beside themselves as a fireball power bombs outside the ring. I thought Mitarai was as good as gone after that. I thought he was outski. Oh my gosh, almost caught him with a super kick afterwards. Gin and Golden are really going one-on-one over and over again here tonight. And now they're working together on Mitarai. Mitarai saying, no. Not today, and now they're working together against Golden, and this time they do get Golden down. Popped up, sent down, Gin sitting. Oh, hold on a minute. Golden stunned in the ring. DJ, I don't know who's bloodied right now. Is he going for that neck breaker? Once again, this late in the match, lands it, and that's the second time Golden's take a massive shot right to the neck, and look at that. DJ Wise rolls out of the way saying, that's a few too many people. Few too many people, and I don't have a little bit of resiliency left. Cat's cradle is in. It is in. On Golden, who once again has been targeted on that neck over and over again, had to burn resiliency. But into the pinfall on Gin, who does not have resiliency. is able to kick out before one even happens. Oh, no, 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 oh my gosh, Mitarai, I think, saved himself the golden cutter. Mitarai was about to go back first onto those steel steps. He was almost out and down for the count, but DJ might be down next. Because, let me tell you, with blood dripping onto his chest, it's 1, it's 2, and he is out of this thing. DJ, the OC champion, is gone after a brutal fight. Mitarai misses that. It is now fight forever. Versus AWE versus All-Star in terms of the champions. Oh, into the pinfall right afterwards. Is Gin gonna steal this one too? He did! He pinned Golden! Quick pinfall, got the job done, and a reversal right back by Gin. We talked about it before, how these two have undergone significant training by two very, very different people. Mitarai, oh my gosh, didn't even get into the ring because the stairs are right there. Gin, looks like he's gonna go diving. Oh, he is going diving. Are the other steps right there? Oh my gosh, they are. Gin's lucky he didn't land on him. Discus clothesline by Mitarai. Battle of the underdogs. Both still have resiliency. Mitarai slid his head right into those steel steps, and now he picks them up again. What is he thinking here? Places them down. And I think maybe that was just positioning as he dives onto the back of Gin. And they are both spent in this fight. A kip up. A kip up, and look at this. Sent towards the steps. Gin stepping right back up again. And over again. A shot to the head. Oh no, no, not just a shot to the head. Hurricane Rana into the pinfall. I think that's what got Golden earlier. And it's not gonna get Mitarai. I was gonna say it's not gonna get him, but he has resiliency. I thought it might have gotten resiliency on him as a leg drop lands. Gin needs to be careful. He needs to work up resiliency as quick as possible. Still doesn't have it. And Mitarai does have a finisher ready. Oh, I don't know what he's doing here. Maybe he wants another weapon? Your guess is as good as mine. Oh, no, 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 not on the steps, not on the steps. Oh, thank goodness. That was almost a career-ending move. But Gin burns resiliency, built it up just narrowly. But Mitarai ain't done yet. Is Mitarai going to be... Oh, hold on. Stood up. Gin returns fire. Quick combinations. Right to the head. He's got to go for a pin himself. He's got the steel steps. Tosses him right into Mitarai. And rages up afterwards. Lifts him up. Am I thinking cat's claw? Potentially. No. Lift up again. World's strongest slam. Onto the steps and to the steel chair. Combinations continue. Rolls him over. Drop kick right on the ear. And one more time, cat's claw lands. He's out cold. Count to infinity after all that damage. Gin just put a wall. But look at this, Gin saying he's not done yet. If you want some more, he's got some more for you. Whipping that head all the way back, but look at that, the blood on the face of Mitarai. I think it's got those hands slipping off of the face. Slipped off of the face because of the blood on Mitarai's forehead, but another cat's claw. He's down. Ladies and gentlemen, he's gotta be down. That's it, 1, 2, and Gin pulls off the victory in an incredible fatal 4-way elimination match. What a showcase for these 4 champions. All the top of their divisions. But our AWE champion, I'll tell you what, you gotta remember, Gin won after that fatal low blow. It wouldn't have been me. If that would happen to me, I would have still been outside the ring for the entirety of this match. I would be like, I'm dead. Somebody gonna have to come and get me. And this was the end of DJ. That cutter, again shortly afterwards, hit a Hurricane Rana, and 2 Cat's Claws to end this thing. Stopped that hit and hit one last Cat's Claw, and Mitarai goes timber and falls over. Again proving that he is the tops. He is one of the best. He is a former tag team champion, a former Fight Forever champion, and now he is the current AWE champion. You love to see it. Hey, you know what? Hey, you get some training in the AWE, apparently it goes a long, long way. I'll tell you what, give me the stars real quick. What a show we are having so far. Kicking off with that incredible Fatal 4-Way match. Now we head into Tag Team World. Shall we? I believe we must. It is the Disciples versus Alice and not Miku. It is Shingo Lamingo.
So I only have one question for you, and that question is,
Y'all want to see this thing? We got a lot to talk about for honestly, 4 of these ladies as the stars. Go. Black. And talk about it we shall. Out first, and via double countout are still your AWE Tag Team Champions, the Disciples of Miku. Now, let's talk about these two and the fight before Christmas. Qiqi, Futaba, they were rocking it. They did their thing. They were making a fantastic comeback against the Assassins. They were honestly getting decimated just like at on Black Friday, I believe, getting decimated. And then all of a sudden, towards the end of it, they were like, we got heart, we're coming back. They had a path to victory. In fact, they also had a path to victory via countout, but Qiqi climbed up the ropes at 9 and said, we don't win by countout. That's not our deal. Something that, what? Our countout merchants Hot Topic could learn about. But out next, it is a woman who has had a bit of a roller coaster of an autumn. She is the Royal Crown of the OC division. She is the former AWE champion, and she is the woman who dethroned the longest reigning AWE OC Tag Team Champions, and is your new OC Tag Team Champion. It's Alice. A member of the movement, but someone who we have worked with to decimate and dismantle the movement. So a lot of things does have to go to Alice. Maybe walked a wrong path out of desperation for knowledge about herself. Today she just embraces the self that she has currently. Alice, best of luck to you. I've come to appreciate you. Someone who I still don't appreciate though. Shingo Lamingo. So what I've been told is Shingo, during my neck bracing times, has been personally trying to get in contact with the AWE. Security was able to keep her out. She had no means of entry. So she did what she had to do to get in, and what she had to do was team up with an Alice who was in tag team action but could not find a partner. Shingo said, if you need a partner, I'm here for you, honey, if you can get me into the building, and that's exactly what transpired. From there, she was able to look around and say, it's time for this place to be audited, and I will be your official audit manager this year. The AWE does go through an audit every year. Usually, you know, this is not exactly the safest place in the world. But more often than not, we can kind of just, we can pay off the auditor. Shingo does not take bribes, so we're gonna have to do things the old-fashioned way, by the book, and pass this audit in January. Big clothesline as Alice goes down. And I don't think we talk too much about Qiqi and Futaba. They are, at least for a good chunk of this year, have been a really solid tag team. And we're talking about tag team moves like this super kick into a pile driver. It's exactly what we're talking about. For a long time, people did not approve of them, but they have a growing fan base after essentially Miku telling the truth. Not entirely sure what the whole Miku deal is. I feel like we have a lot more truth to learn about Deity Miku dropkick right behind the ear. But one thing's for sure, rather, they're not just here to cause like chaos around the AWE. No, it feels like they are actually just here for Miku. They are actually her friends. They have her back. And that is commendable, I would say. That is commendable. And then we look at this tiny powerhouse here. Alice tries to roll out of the way, but gets caught by the shadow boxing of Qiqi. Qiqi, you shadow boxer? Were those like shadow boxes that created that invisible maze at the fight before? I'm gonna have to ask her about that and her shadow boxing technique. 1, 2, kick out. Kick out by Alice. And a couple more shots right to the forehead. Shingo Limingo has yet to be tagged in. Oh, but very right in front of Qiqi's face. Qiqi saying, all right, that's fine. Go ahead and tag in. I'ma get you too. I'ma get you one way. Super kick to the back of the head of the poor child. And now Shingo, oh my gosh, Lion Tamer right on the neck of Qiqi. Qiqi rolls out of the way and tried to go for a forearm shot. It looked like Shingo blocked it and got tossed by Qiqi's legs instead. Oh man, right on the shoulder. Lamingo down and tags made to Futaba. Futaba, the brains of this operation, rather the brains of this tag team, and shots right to the face over and over again, right to the nose of Lamingo. And again, Futaba said, now let me get a couple more in there. Let me get a couple more. Right? And those the first ones look like punches, but a couple of those the ones on the later side look like palm strikes right to the nose, and then just took the back of the head against the mat. This is some real mat grinding that we're seeing here as these two now make another tag. Once again, these two incredible tag team work that we've seen into a wheelbarrow DDT pushed away into a German suplex. Your tag team champions are on all cylinders against your tag team champions for the OCs. Stomp right to the chest. And Qiqi in full control. Very close to having a signature built up. Reversal, Shingo Lamingo. Taking the leg of Qiqi and a shot right to the knee. May have found her target here tonight. Lifted up and rolled up into a pinfall. Okay, I was gonna say that for the Qiqi. Oh! Might have been in good positioning, but look at this. Qiqi turns her around and says, all right, let me turn her around again. You know what? Maybe one more time. Qiqi was very confused, and Shingo saying, all right, that's enough of that. I think Qiqi was going for that choke slam there. Shingo a step faster. Tag's been made. Alice back in. Alice with much more ring experience than Lamingo. Lamingo, I think, only has, what, 2 matches in her repertoire? 3 if you count the OC Rumble that happened this November. Feet on the ropes. 1, 2. Sammy didn't see a thing. And somewhere backstage, Sarah's probably looking at the screen saying, of course he didn't. These referees are blind as Alice goes on a last ride. But oh my gosh, immediately after out of the last ride, Alice hooks the leg and Qiqi goes stumbling down. And a big boot lands, though Alice unable to capitalize. Qiqi is going a little crazy, as she usually does. Futaba, full vitality here to try and turn Alice in, trying to get her to burn resiliency so that the tag team of the Disciples has a clear shot to victory. Futaba gets turned around, shot right there. You know what? I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. If you were fighting Futaba, the last place you want to be is in a corner. Last place you want to be is in a corner, otherwise her foot is going to be in your crotch, and it's not going to be a good time. Face busted into the pinfall 1. Broken up by Shingo. Alice has been broken up real bad. Oh man, double axe doesn't land. Alice reverses, but Futaba's still standing. Turns her around, rolls through, but didn't roll through enough. Alice, gets hit as well. Shot to the back, and they may be thinking, is it super flying Futaba time? It looks like it might be, and this time it's Qiqi who's the one who's going flying. Pinfall lands. Alice is beat up bad. 1, 2, and that's resiliency on Miss Queen. Resiliency on the former champion and the current tag team champion. Drop kick right to that of Qiqi. I want to point out, Qiqi also still has a finisher. They have to make sure that they make a tag, and it's exactly what they did. And Lamingo gets launched. And I want to point out this specifically. Alice, Shingo, I feel like likely haven't had a lot of time to work on tag team moves. They're not a true tag team. They're a tag team by kind of convenience, by proximity. And that is 1, 2. Oh, hold on. Futaba actually came in to help. That was a signature by Lamingo. And Lamingo saying, we don't need to hit a tag team finisher. I'll do this by myself. Pops her. Neck breaker. Lands. Wait, what? Oh, what? Into a submission? What the heck? Neck breaker into a submission hold is crazy. Qiqi up. And Qiqi almost down, able to roll out of the way. Her neck's got to be killing her now. Has to be killing her. Shingo Lamingo into the ropes. Big boot lands. Lifting Lamingo up. Carrying Shingo, but Shingo gets from behind. Shingo is the fresher competitor on this team and has worn down Qiqi. This could be into the corner. Oh, I was gonna say it could be the turnaround this team needed, but I'm telling you what, if they get that flying Futaba again, the assisted super flying Futaba, and that looks like it is exactly what's going down. Lamingo goes up, and Futaba sends her down. Super flying Futaba. 1, broken up. Alice had to come in. But admittedly, if you are the disciples at this point, you want Alice to come in, you're going to say, hey, let's burn resilience on the both of them. Let's call it a day. We'll go hang out with Miku after this, and it's going to be a good time. Oh, hold on. Ooh, wait, reversal into a German suplex right afterwards. Man, oh man, tag back into Qiqi, and that's admittedly what you want to see if you're Alice, because you might be able to pop that signature real quick right to the chin of Qiqi. Wait, 1, 2, made it in the nick of time. Because I'll tell you what, I don't think Qiqi was going to kick out of that without resiliency. She might have. I saw her get the shoulder up. But I'll tell you what, she is hurting now. She is admittedly hurting bad. Alice stood back up. Gets sent to the corner again. Are we about to see more tag team moves from this team? No, reversal by Alice. Much needed. Suplex. Right to the back of Qiqi. Alice makes that tag. Shingo back in control. Not sure if that was the best idea. DDT. Hold on, tipped right back up though. Shingo is now back in control. Knee strike to the face of the zombie who falls over like she's dead. Rest in peace to Qiqi, as now she's still working the knee of the small zombie. Stood back up. Qiqi blocks that chop. Shingo reverses Qiqi. Oh, they run into each other. But Lamingo gets the advantage, DDT. Qiqi trying to make that tag, gets there, but still gets bopped by Shingo and sends Futaba to the corner. Futaba turns her around, quick thinking. She tries running, Enziguri just lands. I don't think she got all of it though. Lamingo slowly getting up to her feet. Oh man, and dropped that foot right on the chest of Shingo Lamingo. Futaba climbing up, Lamingo getting back into the ring. Oh, wait a minute, still got, no, she got her and Sammy. Sammy down. And Futaba saying, well, don't mind if I do. Plants Flamingo forehead first as she stares out to the audience. Sammy's still down and the tag's been made. Qiqi has no finisher. Futaba's got 2. Shingo is looking rough. Have you seen her face? It is bruised. And she is bloodied. She looks like she's been in a war. I actually don't know if she's bloodied yet. I think she just might be very, very bruised. Ugh! Looked like a flying big boot, maybe a claymore combination with a zigzag. Oh no, she's setting up. Flying Futaba lands. Alice has got to come in. She's got to come in to help. It's 1. It's broken up. But I need to point out right here. Futaba's got another one, and she might be going high for this one. Oh no, she's going far, and she did not go far enough, and she is, you saw the pain on her face. She was like, I didn't get all of that one. In fact, I got 0% of it. I got a whole 0% of that one. Yanking that neck back. And again, slams that head down. Couple shots right to the temple. And I was gonna say, she's going for it. She's actually not going for the assisted flying Futaba, but she gets another one on Shingo Flamingo. And I'm gonna tell you what, the OC Tag Team Champions are about to have no resiliency on all fronts. 1, 2. This is the Disciples at work pushed away. And I think you really got to point out the resemblance that Shingo Flamingo has to Miku. You got to wonder if that is adding a little bit of ferocity to the moves of the Disciples, something like that. I don't know. I don't know how they feel about it. I don't know how Shingo actually feels about Deity Miku either. But I do need to point out Flamingo does have another... Ooh, submission hold locked in. But I want to point out Futaba had so much vitality. She got out of that lickety split. She said, no. Maybe if I were Qiqi right now, it would have been curtains. But me, I'll be just fine. Goes under, goes over, elbow right to the chest of Flamingo. And this late in the match, any more big moves? Oh, like a knee strike right to the skull. Could be enough to call it quits for Shingo Flamingo against the tag team champions tonight. In the corner one more time. Tag's been made, and what do they got going on here? What do they have going on here? Assisted spine buster. Qiqi sees him on the outside. Flamingo is writhing in pain. Alice cannot help her. Lift it back up. Toss back into the ring. Qiqi's like, no. No more countouts. Not like this. Steps in. Leg drop. Qiqi does have a signature. And I'll tell you this, if it hits, this thing might be over. Oh. Qiqi? She might not be going signature. She's going, oh my gosh, for an elbow to the back. She's got a signature and a finisher now. Oh, and she went for that signature. She went for that last ride. Flamingo with a super kick and another one right to the jaw. Hold on a minute. 1, 2. Futaba had to come in. Qiqi did not have resiliency. And here's the thing. She's got a finisher. Alice has a finisher. Oh, but Qiqi's got one too. Not anymore. Flamingo with a last minute reversal. Off the ropes. DDT plants her. Spikes Qiqi to the mat. Neither of their partners can come in. Neither one can come in at this point in time, but that may be changing in a second as Shingo makes the no, try to go for the tag team finisher. Reversed, but reversed right back. Qiqi now stunned and Sakagami. Flamingo somehow, someway came to life at the very end of this, maybe making a tag, and now Qiqi is in incredible danger. Alice not only has, a finisher, but almost has a signature as well. Qiqi's crawling to the outside, needs to catch her breath, but the air's cold tonight, brother. Kick. Tries to light her up, and now there's fighting going on over there between Flamingo. This is all breaking up right now. Futaba's down too. Qiqi back into the ring. breaks the count. We saw her do that at the fight before Christmas. And now brawling out with Alice. Alice sends Qiqi down. Picks her right back up. But Qiqi with a reversal sends Alice all the way over. Futaba in the ring, writhing. Slowly getting back up, and now Alice back up to her feet once again. Futaba can't come in to help. And that may have been Lamingo's plan all along. Is she still fighting Futaba? She's still fighting Futaba! That's crazy! But she's setting up! Oh! For that double rotation! Moonsault! 1, 2! They have a path to victory. Shingo has a finisher. Alice does a signature, and she hit it! And she's going for the finish, you don't think? Turned around, double rotation, lands again! Somehow, some way, they fought him on the outside and picked up the victory. In what was a match that was very much dominated by the tag team champions, the OC tag team champions could not get their footing working together as a team. So instead, they did what they did best and worked alone. Shingo Lamingo went after Futaba, said, hey, you're not even going to be available for a tag. Qiqi got hit with that double rotation moonsault twice. It was enough to keep her down. Super kicks from both sides. And I don't think we're going to see it, but there was one pivotal reversal in this matchup. Qiqi went for that tombstone pile driver when Alice could not come into the ring. Shingo was about to be down and out, but all of a sudden Shingo got out of that tombstone at the last second. At the very, very last second. And allowed Alice to make the tag. Those two fought on the outside time and time again, but Qiqi suffered, not to this one, 1-2 kick out, but right afterwards, got hit with a super kick. As she rolled back up, super kick lands, climbed the ropes one more time, and a thing of beauty, double rotation, moonsault landed. 1, 2, 3. I don't think Shingo Lamingo has ever been pinned or submitted in the AWE, but I want to point out her face right now. She is not having a good time. She got dropped on her head so many times. Alice, however, looks completely fine. It looks like homegirl Shingo Lamingo went through a war. Lamingo is not having a good night. That being said, we move on from one tag team to another. It's the Frenemies versus the Wrestling Purists, and we're not gonna wait even a moment to get this thing set up. Two very dominant, very strong tag teams, and tonight they do battle. Will the OC tag team champions win like the ladies? Let's find out as the stars go. Black. And out first, Mr. Momota. He said, Team Wall, you can kiss your championships goodbye, as he won this thing by count out at the fight before Christmas. There will be no countouts. In fact, there might not be anybody going out anywhere as he defends the tag team championships inside Hell in a Cell on the 1st of, I guess the 2nd actually of January, the 1st Inferno of the year. That being said, there's an additional stipulation. This is Team Wall's last shot. Team Wall demanded for a rematch, saying, hey, we won the match, we should have the championships. However, very, not fittingly, but deservingly, management was like, well, you gotta taste your own medicine, doofuses. They're saying, hey, it's your last shot at these, at least while these two hold the titles. If Team Wall loses, as long as Kaito and Ryoma have those titles, they can't fight for them again. And speaking of Kaito and Ryoma, that was Kaito. Here comes Ryoma. Caught in a cage of lights. Like the prisoner that he is. He steps through the bars to fight this tag team matchup.
Sunshine, don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't blame it on the good times.
Ryoma is here. I don't know how long they've had these titles for in terms of number of days, but they won them at Black Friday in what was a very cathartic victory for them, not so much for Team Wa. Team Wa was so close to getting 365 days. They were so close to being 1 year long champions. Something only accomplished so far by the Racket of Psalm. At this point in time, people are looking over to March 7th, who will be entering the new year still as Fight Forever champion. Only needs to last for a couple more months to have that Fight Forever championship for a full year. Will she be able to do it from March 7th to March 7th? We'll see. And against them tonight, the Wrestling Purist, your AWE OC Tag Team Champions. Now let me talk to you. These two can and will rough you up. Brandon and Carlos are a mean team, and I think they've been a mean team and tag team champions since OC Revolution of last year, November? I think they've held those tag team championships for a year now at this point. And still, can you imagine what this is going to do for them if they're able to put away Kaito and Ryoma to what? They have a fair few world championships between them. I think they got 3 world championships between them. Now tag team titles. Ryoma's a former Fight Forever champion. He's a former Kang of the Ring, Royal Crown, you know what I mean? They have a lot of accolades accomplished between the two of them. They are two of the best in the men's division here in the AWE. That being said, Brandon and Carlos, the Wrestling Purists, look to take them down early on tonight. And by early on tonight, I just mean a moment ago. We saw Shingo, Lamingo, and Alice put away, oh, wait a minute, Kaito early on with a kick right to the skull. We saw Shingo, Lamingo, and Alice take out the Disciples, who have been on a strong tag team run since AV Mania. Oh, but Brandon, he's a big, beefy boy, rolling Kaito up into a significant, ooh, very good roll up. 1, 2. Oh, Kaito, you got close. Could have been a surprising 3 early on as he's in the corner and a tag's been made. Carlos, as my headset's about to die, is now in. Carlos, the technical genius when it comes to professional wrestling, as Kaito looks to take him out. Brandon, very clearly the big old powerhouse of this team, but now we're seeing technical versus technical as these two go at it. Now Kaito and Ryoma, oh, hold on, tripped up Sammy incidentally. Carlos still focused on Kaito, maybe didn't see the tag, crossbody lands. Little misdirection play there by the Frenemies to try and continue making quick tags, but Carlos stopping that from happening. Ryoma saying, oh, you know what, let's try that again. Second verse same as the first. Carlos saying, no, that's not going to work. And Ryoma saying, all right, 3rd time's the charm, but doesn't go to the ropes. And it's again Carlos saying, that's not it. You go for a move, I'm going to counter it. Into the corner. And a tag's been made back to Brandon. And a shot right to the gut. And normally that's just going to hurt you a little bit. When it comes to that big behemoth in Brandon, it's going to hurt you a lot. A punch to the guts from Brandon might rattle your insides a little bit. Your stomach and your kidneys might switch places by accident. I'll tell you why he hit you so hard. Tag has been made, though, as these two try and take down the big man. Roll his neck and double kicks right to the chest. Oh, they're not done yet. Ryoma using his light weight, but Kaito trying to follow suit, and Ryoma, and this is interesting. Oh no. That's not interesting. Oh, God, I wasn't sure what was going on there. Dropped him on his feet, and then from behind, a forearm right to the head. Kaito staggered there for a little bit as Carlos gets tagged in, but staggered no more as Carlos gets a drop kick right to the knee. Stood right back up. Kaito, Ryoma, a very rocky relationship in the past, seem to have gotten on the same page. Still don't come out together, though. Right to the jaw. Oh, no, his back is looking... Ooh, boy. Not good. And his chest ain't looking good either. That's our Ryoma. That is our former king. That's that guy. In the corner, no, Carlos with the reversal. Not running for the tag, running for a big move, and it does land right to the jaw of Ryoma. Our tennis pro gets stood up. Carlos with an uppercut. Very close to having a signature, and it looks like he might be actually going for a tag to the big man now. Brandon very fresh, but this is a little bit dangerous. Because Ryoma's so close to a signature, you have your fresh person in here, and he might be taking a whole bunch of damage if Ryoma's able to nail that thing. And Ryoma might not even need to nail it. Oh my gosh! It looked like the lights in this plate went crazy when that move hit. I was about to say he knocked his lights out. It looks like he knocked the lights on. Drop kick to the skull, and this match is been just move after move, big spot after big spot. Another tag's been made. What do they got going on here? Wait a minute. Oh my gosh. Ooh, catapulted him into a code breaker. And the Frenemies proven, hey, we got this. Was begging for Brandon to get up, but instead, Carlos, oh, sad. Yeah, I'm not walking into that idiot. Lifting Ryoma up, looking like he's wanting a submission, but instead Ryoma with a headbutt. Standing Carlos back up. Both have signatures. No, Carlos, I think, just a hair away, actually. Hair away from a signature, but I do need to point out both Kaito and Ryoma both have signatures as they wail away on Carlos, and oh, figure four leg lock. Oh, he was wrenching at that ankle before letting it go too. We are an hour into this big show of Rebellion. We got one more match after this tag team bout, but a reversal sends Carlos back into, oh no, you don't think he climbed up there fast too, baby. A Hurricane Rana from the heavens. From the top rope, and he's going flying, moon landing right afterwards. That is the longest reigning AWE. Brandon was in too late. That's the trouble with the big man. He had to work to get over those ropes. He's not exactly fast, and I want to point out, look who's there waiting for him. It's a Ryoma who's got a signature, but it gets stopped immediately. And a big boot. He doesn't land. Steps out of the way. Sends him into the corner. Carlos gets reversed, or rather gets the reversal, and now wails away at Ryoma, realizing, okay, I'm in trouble. And just, oh my gosh, choking Ryoma out right in front of Kaito. You can see kind of an angry glare in the eyes of Kaito after that. Goes for a pinfall right afterwards. I'm pretty sure Ryoma's going to be fine. Not even two. Not even two, as, they're both going outside. Carlos, I think, is potentially thinking, hey, it might be count-out time. He gets his signature reversed on the outside. Sig reversed on the outside, and I want to point out, even though it looks grim for the OC Tag Team Champions right now, think about the last match. It looked grim for them before. The Disciples were destroying them, but then at the very end, Shingo, Lamingo, and Alice separated and conquered, divided and conquered to win that tag team match. However, Carlos is saying, I don't need to divide and conquer. I can win this thing by count out and be fine. But Ryoma with a reversal. Count of 7. Ryoma rolls out of the way. Count of 8. Count of 9. Carlos, you got to get in there quick. Oh, he made it at the last second. At the very last second, it was a tail-end decision. But he is fine, and he survives. And here's the thing, if he can make that tag, he's got hope in this matchup. But Ryoma's saying that tag's not going to happen. kind of a turnabout to what happened earlier in the night, earlier in this match, where Carlos refused to let a tag happen. Accidentally knocks Brandon off of the edge. Ryoma there waiting for him, rolls out of the way. Doesn't land that uppercut, instead gets hit with a bulldog, and now Ryoma's got a finisher. If he hits this long ways to go, it is all over in this fight, but it looks like he might not be thinking about long ways to go. He was thinking about going to the corner for the tag. Maybe the tag team finisher, and Carlos saying, okay, yeah, that was almost the end of the match. Brandon getting here and do some damage, but gets caught with a Hurricane Rana. Off of the ropes and almost catches Brandon. He was up a step too fast and sends him into the ropes. And now Ryoma is the one who's in. Oh my gosh, what is going on here? What was that? 1, 2. Hey, what was that reversal, dude? That was clean. He is the king of clean out here. Tag's been made. Oh my gosh. Firing away, and I think, oh my gosh, clothesline. No, Carlos is not having a good night. Oh no. No, somebody stop this man. Someone stop him. Bulldog doesn't land, gets caught and slammed down instead, right on the spine, right on the small of the back. His back is messed up. Carlos does have a signature, but it looks like he's going to make the safety tag to Brandon. And again, they are just targeting the midsection of Ryoma. Every time they've made that tag in, it's been a targeted punch right to the center of the chest. Almost like they're trying to stop the heart of the Kang. Ryoma able to kick him away. Saves himself. At this juncture, Ryoma might need to actually make a tag to Kaito Momota. Tag's been made back to Carlos. Carlos has got a signature every single time. That's what I'm talking about, every single time. It's like they're trying to stop the heart of the Kang into the corner, and that's now, oh my gosh, not in the corner, over the top rope. And I think that you saw Brandon step out of the way, asking for a tag, saying, come on. Carlos doesn't do it, leaves him hanging, and says, I'll handle this. Let me get Momota, you handle the small one. Wait a minute, is he going for the signature on the outside? No, he was just going for a nasty combination. Ryoma's bloodied. Mans is knocked out. Count of 2. And just like that, they have their target. They have their potential. They have 2 finishers. And on the outside, one is about to hit, and he's locked in deep with that. Is he trying to bait resiliency on the outside? That's brilliant if he gets it. Kaito came all the way around to help him. Kaito came all the way around to save him from burning resiliency on the outside. This is spilling into chaos. Count of 8. Ryoma has to get back into the ring. They might win this whole thing by count out. Carlos is still down. And they've done it again. Carlos and Brandon tried as they might to get these two down on the outside. Kaito ran over to count of 6 to make sure Ryoma didn't burn resiliency on the outside. Broke the whole thing up. It was a smart play by our new tag team champions. I'll tell you what, hey, they got the job done. Shot to the gut. And, oh my gosh, hold on, another tag. They sure did it. Lo and behold, they sure did it. Kick right to the chest. Popped up and sent down. In the corner again. Tag was made. There was a lot of good tag team work in this matchup. And I think the caveat of why they lost this match, why the OC champions lost this match, and it all really comes down to Brandon saying, hey, let's make that tag. And Carlos walked away from that tag and went to attack Kaito instead and said, no, you go hit Ryoma. That was a bad call because Kaito ran all the way to save resiliency for his partner. In the end, it was the right call. He was able to make sure Ryoma got back into the ring. Carlos was still down, and that is all she wrote at the end of this thing. Congratulations once again to the Frenemies. This was the 10. Both down on the outside for 10. And that's all she wrote. Congratulations again. Kaito and Ryoma. Ryoma, who's a bloodied bad. Kaito's like, yeah, I saved him. Come on, you guys. Look, you do this every time. Come on. There you go. There you go. Kaito might get a little blood on his jacket, but it's good. Yeah, look at that. Look at, hey, you love to see it. Just a friendly slap on the arm saying, hey, good job, buddy. Kaito looks like he stepped away on that one. Okay, well, hold on, you two. Hold on a minute. Come on. You don't need to do this every time. Come on. Thank you. Kaito trying to calm down the situation. Not what I think he's well known for, and then just pushes him anyway. Yeah? Come on. Okay. You didn't have to mush face him. Okay. These two aren't ever gonna completely get along. There's no way they're gonna ever completely get along. Ryoma, just go and set the stage on fire. I know you're about to do it anyway. Go and set my ring on fire. I know you... We need to... Why are... Yeah, I know that they're enemies. Jeez Louise. Big news. Thanks a lot, 2K. Big news that those two teams are enemies. Regardless, we will go on, as we've got one more match. And there's a little history between some of these competitors. Specifically 2 of them. We'll see how it all plays out tonight. So most notably, I have to use the bathroom, so I'll be right back. Okay, my bladder is empty. The game has been loaded, and the stars are going black. As we head to our main event, it is time. Fatal 5-way, and out first, in the first match, the AWE champion Gin won. Tonight, Aiba looks to do the same thing in this final match in the AWE of 2025. Aiba showed up to Marin's Open Challenge on Black Friday and became OC champion. She was also, she also faced off against Marin and Sarah at the fight before Christmas. Sarah a little too focused on Marin saying, I'm gonna get Boti out, broke up a pinfall on Aiba where she could have burned easily, resiliently. But she said no, and then went after Marin instead, which is crazy work. We talked about Sarah losing her mind a lot recently. We'll see if that has any impact on the future. Aiba, however, focusing on the present, and the present means that she is your AWE champion. You love to see it. Going into 2026, and I thought going into the ring, she's really drinking up the audience, I'll tell you what. Good for the girlie. Aiba's come a long way. She was in tag team action, her partner got hurt. Dipped her toes into singles action, didn't really work for her too much until she answered that open challenge, took a little bit of a break and said, hey, I'm still that girl. I'm still that girl who showed up to an open challenge with Mizuki, popped her in the sky and hit her with an RKO. I'm still that girl. And today she's that girl who's holding the AWE championship, or rather dancing with the AWE championship. You know what I mean. As we go on from AWE champion to brand new AWE fight. Nope. AWE United Will Champion. There is no new Fight Forever champion. There is no Warren Bossing say. United Will Champion after a great Elimination Chamber match. The first two who started that thing, well, the last two in that thing, Amy Rose and the Repairman went toe-to-toe, fisticuffs. And at the end of the whole thing, Amy walked out as champion. It was a match that saw the Repairman really target Arrow, but in the end, the Repairman suffered a great injury. Unfortunately, and is out of action. But very fortunately, Amy, new champion, dethroning Arrow after over 100 days as your inaugural United Will Champion in the AWE. The night goes on, though. Will she continue to say, hey, I got my mark, I'm making my mark, let's keep doing this. And speaking of a woman who made her mark, she was just signed after AV Mania. Ibuki has been making big splashes here in the AWE. Some are calling her a shoo-in for breakout star for the ladies this year in the end of year voting. She came through, had a killer performance in Brawloween, had killer performances all year round, and earned her shot against March 7th in a small tournament at Rebellion. March 7th, and Ibuki went back and forth, but Ibuki, once again, right place, right time, was able to take down March and become the new All-Star champion and defeat your double champion. I want to point out, Ibuki has beaten March on 2 separate occasions during her very, very short run, and short-lived run early in the AWE. It was, I think, before my time, to be honest. She had pinned March there as well. What is going on here? Oh, it's not. I was gonna say, we really only see March 7th bring out this Evernight persona when she means business. I fully expected in a non-title match for March 7th to show up and have a good time. Maybe it's not show up and have a good time type of night. Maybe it's just as what I was saying. Ibuki Miyota has been a thorn in March 7th. Since before March's title reign began to after March's title reign began. And that may have lit a fire inside of March because she decimated Margaret. And now, I'm gonna tell you what, Ibuki might really need to watch her back tonight. Or will Ibuki will Ibuki again prove that Evernight is just the same March in a different dress, still just as beatable as ever? Or will this forecast a different outcome? March 7th, a shoo-in for Female Superstar of the Year. And by shoo-in, I mean she is the only person on the poll. You can write somebody else in, and if you do, you will be wrong. March 7th is here. And last but not least, it is the AWE OC champion. Some people are calling her the best and the brightest in the OC division. She listens to the rules and she makes them work for her as best as she can. Let's see what Hazel's gonna be able to do tonight as she looks to turn the AWE into her never-ending winter. The best of luck. Last, I guess in the opening match, we saw DJ actually get out first in that Fatal 4-Way match. Will the same happen to Hazel here tonight? I'm not sure. DJ brought the fight. Hazel, I think, is more likely to look at her surroundings, observe, and make her moment. That's how she won that championship as well. Let's see what she's able to do in a match against some of the brightest and future brightest in the AWE. Fatal 5-way elimination. Fights have to, I'm sorry, ooh, goodness gracious. I was going to say, pinfalls have to happen in the ring. Pinfalls and submissions. Of course, you can burn resiliency outside of the ring. As, ooh, shot to the back. And Hazel going after Evernight, which seems like a bad idea, but I think she might have caught her off guard. And, ooh, goodness gracious, holding the knees and almost breaking the neck there of poor Hazel. And Amy, was she gnawing on the fingernails? That's crazy. Oh, did you see that? Okay, we talked about maybe Evernight being here and not liking Ibuki in the slightest. I think we got to point out what just happened there. It was a little bit of tag team motion from those two. Ibuki with a shot to the back knee of Amy, and then at the same time, March 7th off of the ropes with a drop kick as Hazel's starting to go down to Evernight. Amy from behind. Ibuki's the only one down at this juncture. Amy off of the... Ooh! the ropes. She is lucky she landed, because if she did not, she was going to go face first into that steel chair that was on the ground. And now Ibuki, no, I was going to say it's just Amy and Evernight, and Amy is not having a good time against the very dominant, very dangerous Evernight. Every time we've seen Evernight appear to fight a championship, she's dropped people on their necks. She's been all no frills, all thrills, all dropping you on your neck. She made her first appearance against Charlotte, dominated her. She made her second appearance against, I think Sakagami, dominated her. And then when Margaret happened, dominated her as well. Will Evernight finally suffer a loss here in the AWE? Whenever Evernight shows up, you know that means that March means business outside the ring. Ibuki goes headfirst into the apron, rolled through. Amy Rose still trying to fight back. That's taking a fair bit of damage from Evernight, and Evernight still popping up with every reverse. Look, Amy. Oh! Was that move theft? Or was that just a knee? I know March hits that knee sometimes. Amy able to step out of the way. She's already bloodied. You gotta get out of there, Amy. You gotta get out of there if you want to survive this matchup any further. Slapped her in the face and gets a steel chair again. Hazel, German suplex to Ibuki. Reversal there, trying to hit Evernight. Big kicks by Amy Rose, but again, ducked by Evernight. Still fighting through, but again, flipped by Evernight. Amy does, at the very least, have a finisher, but so does Evernight. Oh, no, we were talking about this before. Dropped you right on your face. And into the pinfall. That's one, that's two, and that's resiliency on Amy Rose. Hazel looked outside just now, and she said, oh God. She stared at Evernight in the ring, and she said, oh God. Please no. United will, and look at that. Evernight just dusting her feet off on a Ibuki who was on the ground. And oh, Amy not happy in the slightest of what's been going on. Goes right back after Evernight, but that may have been a poor decision because Evernight's still rocking Amy Rose as she gets into the steel steps. Hazel and Aiba have just kind of been doing their little bit of brawling outside. Ibuki saying, come on, somebody get in here. Clothesline to Hazel. Stomp to the arm. Lifted up. Oh my gosh. Evernight now after Aiba as well. I don't think there's any history between these two as Aiba gets tossed in. Amy from a far distance saying, okay, I can't beat you in hand-to-hand combat, but I will throw a chair right into your face. Goes for a drop kick to the knee. Evernight very clearly not happy, going right back after Amy. And wailing away with a knee strike to the gut as well. Pinfall onto Hazel, who kicks out, no resiliency. Aiba's got a finisher in the ring. Hazel does not, is the $1 million point here. Outside the ring, wait, Ibuki I think just reversed the signature of March. In a powerbomb position, center of the ring, lands onto Hazel. Trash can gets kicked out of Ibuki's hands. Hazel, precariously placed on the apron, pushes Aiba away, steps back in, but Aiba rolls out of the way and hits a big kick to Hazel. Neck breaker onto Amy. And it's almost like, and then she really focuses right back on Ibuki saying, okay, that's the one that I want to go after. And there's that. Oh! I was gonna say that high-flying maneuver from Aiba that's put away so many people, but look at this. Oh! Knees to the back of March, and Hazel has to be no fear against March 7th. Locking in that submission hold saying, come on, tap out for me, March. Come on, tap out for me. Double axe to Ibuki. But March gets out immediately. Evernight not happy. As Amy with a kiss from a rose on the AWE champion. And Hazel just got planted by March. Wait, hold on. 1-2. But who's getting counted first? 1, 2. And resilience is still burned on Hazel. Amy's burned resiliency. Hazel's burned resiliency. And now look who's there. Immediately taunting Ibuki and then going right after her saying, this is exactly what I wanted. Went for a stomp there, but out of nowhere catches her! Rockstar DDT! Is she going to do it again? 1-2! Evernight kicks out, no resiliency's burned. Went for a double stomp there, and you're seeing Evernight come back to her senses, and her senses are not happy. Trying to hit Hazel, who's still right in the way of her exacting revenge, I suppose. Drop face first on the turnbuckle. Ibuki firing back. Aiba, oh no, but look! Knew that she was right there, went for a drop kick right onto Evernight. Hazel tries to hit them both afterwards. Ibuki kicks right back up. Hazel does not have a signature yet and gets dropped on that table. Yikes. Amy has wisely just been on the outside saying, all right, I could have a bad time here. Leg drop onto Hazel. And is trying to get dragged. Ooh, no, not getting dragged over to the table. Punch to the gut. Aiba tossed in. In fact, it looks like all competitors maybe, nope, not all of them. Evernight saying, I thought I got rid of you, Amy, which is crazy. Wait a minute, Ibuki has the finisher. If this lands on Hazel, she might be out of this thing. Rockstar DDT from the top and into the pinfall. Hazel, 1, 2, took abuse in this fight and is out of this matchup. Rocked tonight by Ibuki, the megastar of the AWE, as Evernight just gets slammed. Amy, once again, no resiliency, but staying outside of the ring, smart decision. Evernight, Aiba, and March, I believe, all still have resiliency, but this late in the match, it could be one pinfall, and it's gone. And I want to point out, it's not just one pinfall and it's gone. Right now, nobody's got it. And look at where March 7th went immediately. Trying to drag Ibuki back into the ring. No, trying to put her face first. Onto the ladder. Roll through. Drop kicked, and now March the only one standing. Ibuki saying, hey, all's fair. And this hit right to Evernight. Now has to focus back in. Well, I'm not sure where she's going to focus it on. She's celebrating. It looked like she was thinking about going up to knock her out, but instead, that trash can's still in the way. Ibuki saying, you want me, come get some. As they start to rock each other. Oh, that almost went onto the trash can. Aiba's there to break it up. Amy in the ring saying, you guys burn each other out. I'm gonna wait here because I'm really one move away from being gone, and I think all of you have finishers except for Ibuki. And does she go after Ibuki for that reason? No, she's actually still going after the champion. Still going after Aiba. And now Evernight looked around, stalking Ibuki on the outside. Punch! Right to the head. I'm not even sure if Ibuki knows that Evernight is right behind her. She just figured it out. Just figured out was maybe playing dumb, but Evernight's, she ain't that dumb. Girlie is unfortunately not that dumb, unfortunately for Ibuki. Walking around the ring. Evernight stalking. Drop kicks. Aiba rolls around. Oh, rolled her. Oh, no. She was very close to those stairs. Very, very close to those stairs. Evernight trying to toss Ibuki into the stairs. Aiba pointing and laughing at Amy. That's going to get her riled up. As, everyone's getting big items. Sledgehammer to Amy, a master of hammers. And admittedly, that one shot to the gut isn't going to be enough to take out Amy Rose. One? No. Amy's saying, no. You're not beating me with a single sledgehammer shot. That's not going to work for me. That ain't it. Hold on. Ibuki popped up. Ooh! Her face was inches away from that ladder bridge. Neckbreaker lands. Table set up. Actually, hold on a minute. She broke it up. March 7th saying, no. Nothing for you. Takes the knee and says, stop. See how you run like that? Oh! But she lost focus and from behind. Kiss from a rose for 1, 2. Still not resiliency on Evernight. Still not resiliency on Evernight. Ibuki does not have resiliency. Rolled up Aiba instead. Aiba who's down for also broken up. But Amy Amy caught with a Rockstar DDT. Ibuki might be getting the second pinfall in this matchup. Is she gonna pin every single person? 1, 2. Amy kicks out. No resiliency, Amy kicks out. And look at this. Oh my gosh, what is this? Oh! Oh, no, it isn't. It's a leg submission. Tried to snap the legs of Aiba. And as the finisher set up, she's got 2. But Aiba with a reversal. Aiba herself now has 2 finishers. And she looks like she's going for a Somnium Slam. And March has no resiliency this time. March 7th pinned by Aiba. Pinned by Aiba because she lost focus. Dealing with Ibuki, and another Somnium Slam leaves us with our AWE champion and our All-Star champion one-on-one as Amy Rose is out next. Who will walk out? As we said earlier, it was Gin, the AWE champion. Will it be Aiba, our AWE champion, or will it be Ibuki Miyota, our new All-Star champion? Oh! Little leg lariat from behind into the apron, but a super kick response by Aiba. They are brawling outside the ring. Year is almost over, but the fights never end. The splash lands on Aiba. 1, 2. Not resiliency again. Ibuki beside herself. But Aiba sends Ibuki outside the ring, luckily not on that ladder. Would have been bad news for her. Aiba just stares off. No, she doesn't. Aiba, no. Aiba, that's crazy. Aiba, that's crazy. Double stomp from up there. There's no way to be safe with something like that. Oh my gosh. That's potential ribs caving in on each other. Good, Ibuki, slow to get up after that. Goodness gracious. Goes under that ladder. Aiba goes to try and meet her there, but gets caught with a DDT. Luckily on the mat, if she were only maybe 2 or 3 meters to the right, man oh man, it would have been right onto that concrete. Is that a barbed wire bat? I didn't even see that being used. Oh my gosh, hold on, rolled through. Stood right back up. Ibuki sends her a little bit forward. Fighting all in front of our AWE audience tonight in our main event. Who's gonna take this big victory? Aiba. Ibuki. Superstars. Brawling. Gets that leg. Wrenches that ankle. And drops it on that knee. Both have a signature, both have a finisher, both outside the ring though. Ibuki with a reversal at the last second, as Aiba looks like was trying to get her into the ring and trying to use that finisher. Low drop kick into the steel steps. Low drop kick into the steel steps. Aiba is clutching at her chest right now. Clutching at her chest is, oh my gosh, now Ibuki burying Aiba in weapons, in debris. Tossed over. Aiba not responding right now, barely turning over. And a double axe right to the back. And that may be enough to put Aiba down for 1, 2, and Resilient. No! I thought it might have been a little 2K special, use a good top row move and send them down for a potential resiliency burn, but that's not the case tonight. Instead, low drop kick lands. Ibuki's head goes against that table. Aiba goes outside of the ring, steps back in saying, you know what? I don't need anything else. There's a sledgehammer in here. There's a table in here. And more importantly, Ibuki's in here for my Somnium Slam. Pinfall lands. Jessica there for the count. 1, 2, and it's resiliency on Ibuki. If Aiba just hits that signature, she's got this match won. Ibuki stood right back up, and Aiba may have heard my commentary. Ibuki, though, with the reversal off the ropes. Big splash. Ibuki's not out. She was down, but she's not out. Tossing Aiba into the corner. Going for a little scoop slam and lands. Aiba still not stunned. She's got a chance to reverse, but Ibuki in a very familiar place. Calling for Aiba to get up. Are we about to see that top rope Rockstar DDT? Aiba steps out of the way. And now she's calling for Ibuki to get up. Turnabout is fair play. They've been going back and forth at the end of this. Who is going to walk out with the last victory of 2025? Dropkick, but Ibuki steps out of the way this time. But Aiba's there waiting for her. Sends her over the top rope again. Gets herself some space to breathe. Ibuki, admittedly on the ground, gets the same space, but uses that signature bar. And once again, that's that in-ring IQ that's the difference maker in this battle. But Ibuki, she has heart to make up for it, and I think Aiba landed really weird there. I don't know if you saw that, but Aiba landed horribly weird, and Ibuki noticed that. She noticed that and hit Aiba right where she landed. 1 or 2. Oh my gosh. I talked about in-ring IQ. And then Ibuki said, heard, did you see Aiba land really badly on her back? She like, ugh. Ugh. She kind of cringed and tensed up right after landing in a very violent motion. Ibuki saw where she landed, took that sledgehammer, and like a sword to the heart of a dragon, drove it into the back of the AWE champion, and Ibuki Miyota walks out, and she pinned, I don't know, 2 or 3 supers, at least 2. I thought she pinned her there, but actually I think Aiba got that one off the top ropes. Bam, splash. These two at the very end of this went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Aiba may have been hurt so badly she could not use resiliency. She could not get the shoulder up. Doctor's gonna have to check on Aiba to make sure that's not some sort of paralysis. I'm not sure if you can get paralysis as an AI ball, but you know what? Maybe her circuitry messed up. Maybe something unfortunate happened. But at the very end of 2025, walking in to make the new year hers, Ibuki Miyota. The future is bright for this young superstar. We talked about she might be a little green. We talked about how she might not have that in-ring IQ. I think she disproved all of that tonight. She saw all the naysayers and said, watch me work. And work she did. Congratulations to her. You'll have to see it as we exit our end-of-year show. We had Ibuki stand on top of the division as the AWE All-Star Champion, outshined them all. Kaito and Ryoma won this thing by countout. They were interesting, but to be fair, it felt like Brandon and Carlos might have been trying to do the exact same thing. Qiqi and Futaba dominated this whole match until Alice and Shingo worked apart to win together. Is the story of those two. And lastly, in a hard-hitting technical bout, Gin wins at the very end with back-to-back cat's claws. What a end-of-year show. Thank you all. As we check out our news one last time, Ibuki has been injured. Further, she'll probably be on the sidelines until she has to, defend that championship. But we gonna make sure she rests up. Waluigi and Wario launched another attack. No, they didn't. No, they didn't, and that's all that happened this show. Anywho, well, I guess we can look at our roster real quick. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Aiba there, Pi is there, York, Amy, Gin, Mondo, Claude, Kafka, Rinka, Sarah, Queen, Nimona, Margaret, Makoto, Yosuke, Fulgent, Futaba, and Bernice round off your top 20. And last but not least, I guess we can see Inferno is the next show? Yes, excellent. Indeed it is. It would have been March versus Golden. I don't know if Golden exactly wants that smoke. This Fatal 4-Way match, which honestly, interesting. Mondo versus Pi. Yosuke versus Shin. Aiba versus Nimona, which might cook a little bit. Gin versus Kutaro want to run it back apparently. Fulgent versus Haru. underdogs. Robbie, Amy, and you, Bernice versus Sakura, and Deity Miku versus Ibuki would have been the show. That is not our show. In fact, we have a year-end show ahead of us. So, with the stars one more time, that is the end of the year in the AWE. Make sure you get your votes in for the year-end awards. They will be closing this New Year's Day at around 8 o'clock, so I can make the graphics for the show that happens on that Friday. So, until then, I'm taking off. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for this year in the AWE. We have had, I think, admittedly, the best matches in AWE history this year. That is my personal feeling as a man who has not been here for the entirety of the history of the AWE. That is how I feel, at least from the time that I have been here. I have to thank our competitors for that. I have to thank our management for that, our trainers for that, our sponsors for that. We have to thank everyone for that, but more importantly, we have to thank you for that, because without you, there is no AWE. You and me, we put the we in AWE. And I think that's it. The last one in the year of the paradigm. I think it's time to take off. So until then, music, if you could start off one more time. Please? Hello? I guess not. That took a long time. Whatever I say, maybe not. Anywho, I'm taking off until the new year, until January 2nd. I'm out of here. This has been AWE 2025. Get ready for 2026. Until then, Toodaloo Flight Crew, one more time, thank you for 2025, thank you for the year of the paradigm, and thank you for watching.